Greetings, people of YouTube. It's your boy Zelkalad, back with another episode of Rockmanholic Buyer. And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about a bunch of Jazzwares Retro Roto Mega Man figures that I bought on the internet. Now, if you don't remember what the Retro Roto line was, I'll show you. It was this thing. Yep, you may recognize this figure from the last episode that I talked about way back in the past. Episode 2, actually. And I mentioned how the company Jazzwares made a bunch of Mega Man action figures. Some are articulated and some are not, and this is actually one of these figures. I mentioned that they had a bunch of figures that were available, which we had Proto Man, Elect Man, Shadow Man, and Guts Man, and it's coming soon figures that don't actually exist, and the Build-A-Figure. Well, I managed to get most of the figures from this line. The only one I'm actually missing is... I'm missing Guts Man. There's always fucking Guts Man. And I also did mention that I found another seller that was selling not only Mega Man loose, but the full completed Build-A-Figure. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a hold of that figure still. Yeah, after a few months, I still haven't been able to get that. And I'll mention more about that soon enough. But for now, I just want to get this video out of the way because this video is kind of cursed. If you don't know why I just said that. Originally, I actually had this episode finished. I had it recorded, I did the unboxing, and the moment I tried to edit this thing, the audio was completely fucked. It was shit. All because my dumbass decided to record with my headset on. And the mic quality on my headset is pretty terrible. It was so muffled that honestly you can't even hear anything. I even tried fixing it in post and it did nothing. It was completely useless and I was very devastated by it. Because I didn't just want to come off as disingenuous if I try to re-record it. But I did set to myself that the whole purpose of me making this series was not only to unbox, but also to show off some of the cool shit I bought online. It doesn't have to be a complete unboxing related video. It could be something similar to that of what Glenn Webb did, the Confessions of the eBayaholic series, which is what this series was inspired by. It doesn't have to be a complete unboxing. I could just talk about some of the junk I bought from online. Yeah, just show it off. And that's what I'm gonna do. I know some of you are probably expecting for the unboxing thing, but sorry, not happening in this episode. And not to mention, I didn't get, like I said, I didn't get every single figure because I am missing Guts Man and I'm missing the Build-A-Figure. But I'll explain more about that later. But I did manage to buy the other 3 figures, and I bought one of them loose. And thankfully, I got this guy for cheap because this figure is kind of hard to get a hold of. Here he is, Shadow Man. Yep, Shadow Man. They actually made a figure of Shadow Man from Mega Man 3. And what's cool about it is that there aren't that many figures based on Rollmasters that isn't just from Mega Man 1. Like, how many figures, or at least toy companies that make figures of Mega Man, and count how many times they use Mega Man 1 characters. There's a lot, especially for Cutman. There's a lot of Cutman figures for some reason. And count how many times that Mega Man, like, 3 to 11 get figures. Not a lot. And the fact that Jazzwares actually made a figure of Shadow Man is pretty cool. In fact, I like this figure a lot. Even though he's not very posable, he's got your standard articulation. And since this figure is loose, I can actually show it off properly. He's got the swivel at the head, swivel at the waist. He has a boot swivel, but they don't move up and down. I mean, kind of. It's like... And he can also rotate, but I have to be very careful because, like I said before, the reason why my other Mega Man had a missing arm was because this figure had, like, you can see there's like a bit of movement. It's probably a lot better on this arm. It's a bit of a ball joint. There's a ball joint here and a ball joint here. and I'd rather be careful if you try moving it a little bit upwards because you're gonna pop it off. And because the fists are hollowed, they have a potential to get stuck in there. And believe me, it was a bitch to even get them out. And if it gets in there, yeah, they're completely in there. You're never gonna get it out, and you're just gonna be left with an armless freak. So I've got to be careful when handling this guy, especially for the arms, because I don't not want these to pop off. I'm actually pretty amazed how Jazzware managed to make a pretty accurate Shadow Man figure. It looks like it was ripped straight out of the turnaround sketches. That's how good it is. Like no detail was left, like no detail was left unturned. So I'm just kind of blown away how good it is. And the fact this figure's 20 years old, it doesn't look like it's 20 years old, it looks like it came out like recently, even though it's like a vinyl figure. And the funny thing is, like, the recent Mega Man vinyl figures I've seen, like, that's supposed to be like more fuller size, like 6 to 4 inches tall, they look like shit. This one actually looks really nice despite all the scuffs, yes, because this is, again, a used figure. But I really like this a lot. I really like this guy a lot. Doesn't look too bad. And the next figure we're going to be talking about is in package. And it's a character we already taken a look at. In fact, the last two figures are characters we already taken a look at from the last episode. Here is Proto Man. Yup, Proto Man in his package. Now, I would get him out, but again, like the other one, I don't want to take him out of the package, and this one actually doesn't let me open. Yeah, it's kind of funny how this one has like different qualities. It's still banged up, but yet the bubble is still in the package, while Mega Man is like completely open. You could probably take him out if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. So yeah, they made a Pro Man figure, and you can see that he contains the leg of Mega Man. And then you take a closer look at Proto Man's face, you can see that he is smirking. I feel like Scott McNeil is gonna say something to me.
Yeah, whatever turns you on, Doc.
The figure itself looks pretty nice. Like, you can see, like, they put a lot of care onto this guy. And the Proto Buster actually is Pro Man's Proto Buster. They just took Mega Man's Buster and just painted it. This is specifically Pro Man's Buster. They did sculpt in the scarf, so yeah, the scarf is sculpted in, so he's not made out of like a vinyl or even like cloth. But then again, these are basically just glorified bath toys. At least that's what my mom once said about my Mega Man figure. I really like the red that they chose. It's like very vibrant, very like colorful red. And this is like the second Pro Man figure we're taking a look at in this series, and it's kind of sad we don't have many Pro Man action figures. I remember I had the discussion with one of my friends, and she was just like telling me about we don't have many, and I only counted like the ones I could think of. I mean, I know there's the Ruby Spears, and then there's the Kotobukiya, and I know we're gonna get a Jada's toy version, which I am excited about. If I don't have like any posable Pro Man figures. And this one I wouldn't really consider a posable figure, because again, we already take a look at the articulation of Shadow Man, so it has the exact same articulation. Even if he doesn't pose very well, he still is a very cool figure. I'm very happy to own this guy and probably display him on my wall. I know it's probably some collectors not gonna like that, but I don't give a shit. It's my figure, I do whatever the fuck I want. And honestly, like, I don't even know where to put this, even if I did open it. Like, where am I gonna put this? I don't even have room for it. So the wall is gonna go. And the last figure we're gonna be taking a look at is Electman in package. And yeah, this is a very pristine, almost pristine Electman. Look at this. Look how well like the card is. It's barely, well, there's a bit of like this. I know the seller was trying to make a big deal about that, like saying it's not completely perfect. But I generally don't care, as long as the figure is like completely like brand new or like in decent quality. That's all I really care about, really. And you know what's funny? When you put these guys together, you have like some weird degrading in quality of the boxes. You have Mega Man who has like it's about to come apart, and Pro Man's a bit banged up and kind of crumbled, and this one's just mint. He is mint in package. Barely any yellowing, barely any like crinkling on the package. And just like Pro Man, he also has like a shit-eating grin. He kind of looks like Noid, if I'm being honest. And I remember I told you guys a story about how I keep seeing Electman figures at a CVS. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the same Electman figure I saw many years ago, and it just happened to be in front of my face. That I bought like about 20 years later. Although some of you eagle-eye viewers might have noticed that the package is a bit different compared to the rest. You can see that Pro Man and Mega Man both have these little things. Build a bot, collect all pieces. However, Electman doesn't have that. He doesn't have the collect all pieces on his box. And this is something I found out when I was doing research on this line. By research, I mean just Googling up the photos of these figures, as well as trying to look for one on sale. And I've discovered that there were two different versions of this line. They have the same figures, but one has like the Build-A-Figure piece and the other one doesn't. And the one I did buy years ago did have a Build-A-Figure piece of Mega Man. And this is where I'm going to be talking about the completed Build-A-Figure of Mega Man. Now, I did mention before that I was going to buy one completed because I couldn't find them anywhere else. And unfortunately the seller didn't respond back even after months after my last video was released. They still haven't responded back. And thankfully I didn't, spend my money, because I don't want them to like hold on to my money and not deliver it. And just judging from their Ikari pages, it doesn't seem like they sold that much. And some people might say, why not just buy the figures individually? Well, the problem is this is reason, because there's two different versions, and because also I bought one loose, and finding pieces of this particular Mega Man seems that nobody ever sells them online. Hell, not even the completed version, at least because I'm looking through Ikari, I'm not looking through eBay. I don't really use eBay, but one of these I probably should. Maybe one of these days I will try to get a hold of the Build-A-Figure version of Mega Man. Even though I did say that figure looks like a complete piece of crap, it's technically like the figure that I need to complete all 6. Even though this line only has 5, and so far I almost have all the figures. I know somebody could be like, well, you don't have Shadow Man with his package. That may be true, but at least I still have him. He's still in good condition. Still has all his pieces. They don't even come with accessories, but still, you know what I mean. Although I still wish I do have Guts Man, because that'd be really cool if I have a Guts Man action figure. Well, we're at the end of the episode. I know it's not as long as the other episodes we've done in the past, particularly the He-Man one, but I want to make this as short as possible, just for my mental health's sake. And these videos are very taxing, especially since I have to go through a reshoot for this thing. I swear to God, this thing is fucking cursed. And not to mention, even if I didn't do the unboxing, it doesn't mean I'm being disingenuous with my reaction or how I feel about these figures. I still have the same reaction as I did when I was recording it originally. Because these are really cool figures, and these are something that I've seen in my childhood many years ago, and the fact that I was able to buy and share with you guys my old childhood figures, well, nice, well, you know what I mean. And the fact that I got even more of these figures from the exact same line, it just makes me happy, and I want to share that kind of happiness with you. It's kind of the reason why I began this series in the first place. Just to show off my collection, my hobbies to you guys. Hopefully one day I will find the other figures in this line. Hopefully I will find a completed Build-A-Figure of the Mega Man, and hopefully I'll find Guts Man. I did manage to find Guts Man, but unfortunately somebody bought him before I could, so I was pretty pissed off about that. Whether he be loose or in package, I don't know. Hopefully I can find him, and hopefully he's not terribly expensive. Until then, guys, I hope you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll post more videos in the future. Until then, I'll see you all next time.